we have, is there any more discussion on that? Yeah, oh,
Yeah, we went down this road before on a septic tank program. Just about every septic tank in this whole cotton picking county has already been inspected. There is a few that failed, that really did not do that much contamination to the creek. There's a lot of heartache and a lot of misinformation that was put out and caused this problem. We did find out, above all, the contamination was coming from rotting nettles off of the trees and so on like that, washing into the creek. Another large problem was the fertilizers that were used on lawns and so on like that. One that really stuck out was the city's golf course, was one of the largest inputs.
wow.
The next one was right out here where they dumped city sewage back into the creek. Now they're authorized to go, I don't know how many millions per over the limit because it's a city thing. So they've contaminated everything from there to the Cheyenne.
So are you saying that,
The information is there. We already know what it is.
do you know, we don't need to be, are you in favor of perhaps getting a DNA, in your opinion, or do you think that it's not needed? In order to keep them involved and keep the back and forth,
The city is not gonna want to get involved because they're gonna dump a lot of money down the drain by repairing what they already have and what they're already giving free gratis to.
so where would you go from here?
Well, right now, with all this construction, I'd say we table it right now until we get the lake up to speed, because that's a lot of contaminates. They're churning up all the duck crap and everything down there. And I see we got a request form here that they're going to pull the bridge out of Thunderhead Falls, the one just off of 44. They're gonna tear that up there. You've got a lot of community pumps and so on that are pumping water out of there. So you're not gonna get any true tests from there all the way down. Now, I don't see any problem with testing on up, past the construction, and find out if we have any contaminations coming in there. Of course, that's our job, is to test those water areas.
Well,
So
let,
we need to do that.
Mr. Steichen, did you have your hand up?
Oh, yeah, I just had my recollection of what Dave said, that there was some key issue about Rapid City getting involved. Was that to tap 319 funds or something, wasn't there something where?
Yeah, what he was talking about on the 319 funds is that a rural area that doesn't have an MP4 permit, it's a stormwater permit required by EPA for a city, and Rapid City has that permit, and they're excluded from the 319 funds, but he also indicated that those funds are, have been allocated to other cities with that program for different projects. But, and just to, Mr. Moss, I'd like to understand the studies that you're talking about, but because the problem is fecal coliform, and that comes from feces from humans and animals and dogs. That wouldn't come from rotting pine needles, fertilizers, and stuff. So,
Well, unless you're gonna put diapers on deer, you're kinda out there.
well, the intent is that I understand the sensitivity to what happened with septic systems before, not only here but through the entire county and everywhere. And it is a concern. But my point is that you take this as a different approach. We identify what the problem is, if it's a certain animal or if it's human, and if it is, we understand that it's coming from septic tanks. That we educate the public and we slowly fix each one as we go. We don't come down with an ordinance or a recommendation for an ordinance.
That's already been done.
Well, I know, but let me finish, and we go through that process and we start educating the public on what it is, because it's been going on since 1998. And you gotta find something, you gotta find the answer to what it is what's causing it before you can go address it.
Do we need anything more on this tonight?
I just made a motion to table it anyway.
Okay, well, I just want to ask what you think fertilizer is.
Fertilizer is nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus, and it's used for plants to grow.
Yes, but most fertilizers that are used around this area are manure from cattle and other things. You'll find that a lot of people use that for their lawns and everything like that in their gardenings. So you get the nitrates from
And the
that.
study would help determine that if it's animal or human or duck or whatever kind.
Of which that study has already been in process, and they're inspecting every tank in the whole county.
They're not
So
doing
that
the
part of
DEA.
the job's done, and furthermore, we're looking at the South Dakota runoff thing. It's gonna be coming into effect in 2017, should be completed in 2018. For the state's gonna take over.
What was that, Mr. Richard?
Hopefully we'll be out of a job.
We will be out of jail.
Well, moving on, we have one more thing in old business, we have new business.
You got a public comment.
We have new business, we have, and then we have items from the directors and items from the public that's left on our agenda right now.
He's got a motion,
Okay, you
She's
have a
got a
motion on,
Yes,
on
and-
right now?
and she's
And
got a
she's
comment.
got a,
She's got a
Comment.
comment on this section.
From the public up to stand.
From the public, yeah, and that's, and don't we follow the agenda, or are we gonna go off the
We
agenda
are.
right now?
we are following the agenda.
She just has a comment on this topic.
The chair can recognize the public and,
At any time, okay, fine. All right, thank you. First of all, I wanna know I want to hear the motion again.
The motion was to table this. And you can
For another
also,
time.
you're also, you get a sec, you have to get a second on
I
the
have to
table.
get a
but-
second, and then I can go to her, so please give it
Yes.
to me.
I'll
Give,
get,
all right.
The motion
You made the
was-
motion, and,
I'll second it.
Okay.
all right. Do you have the motion, Denise?
you really didn't need a motion for that. It was just basically a report, information only, so you don't really need a